Hello and welcome to episode 167 of Nintendo Therapy, a show about all the latest Nintendo news and rumors, as well as a celebration of anything Nintendo. My name is Kevin, and joining me this week to talk about Mario very specifically is Sean
Hello.
and Harrison.
Hey guys, welcome back.
So this week, I don't know if we should, mix things up. It's pretty. Let's cut to the quick. We all finally saw the Mario movie. Let's talk about it.
Right.
It's right there.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie, by the way, which I don't know if I said this on the pod or not. I'm still wondering if the third one is going to follow that pattern because we had the Super Mario Brothers movie, now the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Is it going to be the Super Mario blank movie for the next one? We'll have to find out.
I would
Um,
think so.
you're
I just
jump.
don't know what they would go with.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah. I was doing
I
predictions
think.
at the end, but yeah, I don't think so. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay, then we'll do predictions at the end.
Go, go-
What
go-
did you
go-
guys
go
think of
ahead.
this film?
What do you think? What do you think? I think.
I liked it. I think I think it's exact same tone and pacing and jokery as the previous movie. So I was kind of surprised to see so many non-critics saying that they were like thought it was too much like a TikTok video or something. Like I saw that a lot, or like, it's like jangling keys. That was the other thing people said. And I'm like, yeah, but it so was the last movie. So like I don't know why, especially as a sequel, that was a surprise. It's
Well, did they
the
say it
same
was a
tone and the
surprise?
same. Hmm?
Did they say it was a surprise? Like did they
The-
say like did they say like in comparison to the first movie, this movie's much faster?
No, but it seemed like they were acting like they expected more out of this one, I guess. And I think it's exactly the thing I said with Metroid Prime 4. I went in with the right level of expectations and I got the thing I expected it to be. I didn't expect it to be I just expected this to be the last movie again with different jokes. And that's pretty much what I got. The previous movie with different jokes.
You're kind of touching on my first point, which is the only point that I kind of want to push back on, not with you, but with just the general, from a lot of like user reviews or people that have seen the movie. And honestly, guys, I'm feeling in a positive mood today. Like I'm feeling in a very positive mood about all of this. My overall feeling was, I asked my wife afterwards what she thought. She said, thought it was fun. I said, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And and I want to do a segment in the future talking about like in 2026, how good is like a 7 out of 10 really? Like sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes you just have like that average fun, maybe you don't watch it 10 times over type of films. But I want to push back on something just a little bit about, I'm usually the one on here that's super critical of critics, publications, all of that.
mhm.
But I do want to say that it is very important that we talk about and critique and are critical about what is in front of us if that's what we're talking about. The goal of the segment is to talk about the Mario movie, and I've heard comments saying like children, it's for children. Children don't care about this. They don't care about the story, blah blah blah. And I I I'm here to say that, it's important that the critics talk about what just the movie is. And the other part to that is I really think children do care about story.
Yeah.
That was the whole
And
thing. Yeah.
I pushed back on the last film too of people saying this film doesn't have a story. It does have a story. It has the same amount of story as like Aladdin or any other basic children's movie in my mind. I think it
But
does have the same amount of
I
story.
will say the
It just
story
kind of like Shrek squeezes a ton of references in there.
But I will state that the story feels secondary. But for
Yeah.
people, anyone who wants to hand wave and are dismissive and say children they just want to watch TikToks. They don't care about the story. They just want like shiny things in front of them. We can all point out movies from now to when we were kids to before that where there were children's movies catered to children that had a great story and then became movies that people wanted to watch over and over again. So overall, like I thought it was a really fun movie. The point, the part that stood out to me
I
is
also
that
think people have forgotten that there were other that is true, but I think like Pixar in particular. Pixar has been so good at delivering amazing stories for that work for both children and adults that anytime a children's movie doesn't hit that level, it feels like it's missing something. And I'll admit this does not feel like it hits that Pixar level where everybody gets something out of it. But at the same time, I think you have to ask yourself, did the movie do what it set out to do? Like you
we're
can't judge something for being something it's not even trying to
we're
be.
we're
So
we're,
I
we're
think
talk
for what it's trying to be, it hit it.
yeah, we're talking over each other a little bit though. Um,
Oh, sorry.
in this movie, I found that there were two different things going on, and the entire time I was thinking, at what point does it like really connect? And then at some point in the beginning of the film, I realized like, oh, like that's probably just it. Like we're probably just in the movie now, and you have the Rosalina part, and you have the Mario, the baby Bowser, the Bowser part, and Sean, let's get you in here. What did you think about baby Bowser? And then you tell me all of your thoughts as well.
Oh, I liked Baby Bowser or Bowser Jr., whatever you want to go with him. I thought he worked as the villain, and I kind of like the father
Yeah,
son
Baby
thing.
Bowser's different, I think, somehow.
Probably.
I
I mean,
I think that's the Bowser from Yoshi's Island is Baby Bowser or something. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter.
this would be Mario's Sunshine, I guess. Bowser Jr. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, I was thinking about what we were kind of talking about it in the chat, and I think Harrison, you're right. I think what would probably hurt this movie for me were the trailers because so much of the movie's in the trailers. So
Yeah.
I was kind of bored
Uh,
through a lot of it because I felt like I saw a lot of these things already.
that's another thing I've said on here too, though. I feel like movie trailers get it. They can't win anymore because I feel like every single trailer that comes out gets criticized for one thing or the other. People either say, "Oh, that gave everything away," and they complain, or they say, "That told me nothing," and they complain.
Mhm.
And it's like they never seem to get the right mix, you
I
know?
think Universal are really the ones that are guilty of this with all their movies, though. Like they've had horror movies I haven't watched because they give the twist away in the trailer. So I,
And
I
I'll admit I didn't watch the trailers, so maybe that was
right.
helpful
So
for me. I watched like the first one, and that's it.
I think seeing the trailers hurt it a lot for me. And again, like I feel like kid me would have loved this movie, but 40-year-old me was really bored. It's very pretty, like well made. Like there were aspects there were scenes I liked. Like I liked all the Bowser Jr. stuff, especially the puppet show flashback. I thought that was really good. The fact Luigi's in the whole movie this time was awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the little nods, like when Peach leaves and they have to defend the Mushroom Kingdom, and they do like the Mario 3 map and stuff blinks and they have to go. I liked all that stuff. Uh and this didn't dawn on me till later. I think the Super Scope making them babies, I think that was my 93 movie nod, because in that movie
Yeah,
the de-evolver gun. So that must have been the extent of what I was getting as a nod to that. But
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
heard
like
people may draw that comparison. Yeah.
Yeah. I
but like the
saw
casino thing, if I
Casino
hadn't
love
seen
that.
that in a trailer, I would have liked it a lot more. But because I saw it in a trailer, I went, oh. And that's
Yeah.
literally the only part of the movie, and then they're all gone. I went, oh, that kind of disappointing, because if I didn't know about that, that would have been really cool.
That's a
And
great
then
point.
Fox, it would have been nice. to have as a surprise. I get it's really hard nowadays, but the only issue I had with Star Fox is it made me want a Star Fox movie, and that seems so much more interesting to me than the Mario Galaxy movie was. I was like, ah, man, like you guys, it's right there, and who knows if they'll ever do it. But
That was awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't
That,
know. Like you said, they've had.
Speaking of that though,
Hmm,
Star Fox being in it, everyone jumped right into saying, "Oh, they're going to do a Smash Brothers movie," and then Nintendo came out and said, "We have no plans at this point for a Smash Brothers movie." The thing that you and I can't remember if this was a group chat or what, but I said to someone this week, I was like, I mean, at what point does it become a Smash Brothers movie? Because there's like 12 Smash Brothers characters in this movie. That's basically what the Street Fighter movie was they just threw all the characters in
yeah, yeah,
and they all had like different things to do. So like at what point does you've got so many cameos of like even just like the split second ones, like the punch out guy running by and stuff like that. They're all in there. So
well,
see,
I,
I missed that. I didn't notice that. I
it's
saw Rob.
when Yoshi's going through New York,
Oh,
they
you
go
see the.
by his coach goes by in the bike and then he runs by in the
Okay.
pink suit. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, kudos to Donald Glover for getting paid a lot of money to just say Yoshi,
hey,
because he absolutely didn't add anything to the movie in terms of being in it. But yeah,
that's the move.
that's yeah, that's I guess that's the problem is I saw so much of it in trailers.
Yeah,
There was no surprises,
and
and
that
I'm surprised there wasn't more flutter kicking from Yoshi. I know
yeah,
they had it at one point, but it was so subtle. I expected more flutter kick.
I think it was just when they're sneaking around at the end, him and Luigi, he does it quick.
When the bridge was collapsing, he did it
Okay.
when he was running. But like it didn't make the sound very prominent that or the that he does like either one they didn't go with.
I
um
mean, the criticism I see that makes me laugh though are the people that are mad it didn't follow the plot of the game.
oh sure. Yeah.
I don't remember the game being that crazy in depth a
I think
story.
what they're saying is they never established Rosalina and Peach being sisters. I think that might be what they're referring to.
There
Well,
and
that I
there's a
never really
lot that
thought about
wasn't
that.
established throughout that movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that part would be fair. Yeah, that was rare for me with the trailers. Usually trailers don't bother me. Sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't. But this was like one of the only times where I can remember, at least recently, where I was like, "Oh, I wish I hadn't seen the Yoshi part," because when it came
Yeah.
up, I was like, "Oh, whatever. I can just like kind of tune this out for like a couple of minutes, but I know what's going to happen next." And and I'm kind of gonna kind of jump around though a little bit. We're on that part. Um, I will bring this up because it's not controversial, but like, did we ever talk about the art direction of how they would make Mario and Luigi sound? Because like they sound like I'll say they sound like a little bit Italian in these movies, right? I wonder if that was like a
Mhm.
specific direction they wanted to take, just so they're not stereotyping too much. But why is it when they get to
I think the
Tostarena
furthest we
Town?
talked about it, I
Go
was
ahead.
going to answer your question. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think the furthest we talked about it was talking about how Charles Martinet's voice wouldn't work in full conversations in a movie, but that's about as much as we said.
But then they get to Tostarena Town, and it's like it seems very much more stereotypical for the people in that town. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're from somewhere in the desert, right? So I just that's
Yeah.
something that said to me right in the beginning, like, huh, that's an interesting thing. And we'll jump around. One of you had just said something. Prediction for me. I think the third movie features Peach. I think we're getting a Peach movie. Anna
You
Taylor
mean Daisy?
Joy. I think it's going to feature her in the third movie. I don't know if the title is Super Mario and Peach. I don't know what the title would be, but why not make it a movie around Peach and then Daisy for this next
Yeah.
one? Uh, yeah, Kevin, what do you think?
This isn't a serious prediction. I was just going to say, like, wouldn't it be cool if the next movie they lean into the Mario sports games somehow? Like it's like a Angels in the outfield, like
We need
when are
to
we
win this
Dad, when
tournament.
are we gonna be a family again? From where I'm
See,
sitting, when the
and
Toads win the pennant, like
if you wanted a
Yeah,
super easy followable story, you would do something like that. Like
yeah,
it's pretty easy to figure out what that plot could be. There's a game coming up.
yeah.
It's a very important game, and you want to win the game, right? So like that would be kind of an easier thing to follow. That would never happen. I don't think.
Because I feel like they don't have a lot left they haven't referenced, and I know people are probably shouting about things that still haven't been in there, but like it's all of the main things. I'll say they've used everything that's major, like to the point where I thought it was weird they used the Super Mario World cape at the end, because I'm like, you
yeah.
already used a power up where you can fly in this movie. You didn't
There was
need to
so
take the
many.
cape away from the next one. Like um so it's this I don't know, there's not a whole lot of main things everybody would recognize about Mario that are left. It's kind of just like niche stuff now.
I love they referenced like all they referenced at least one power up from like every new Mario game. Drill, Ice,
Yep.
Cloud, Penguin, Red Star, Cape, Blimp. Like every
Mhm.
new Mario game was featured at some point. Anyways,
I was
Sean,
waiting for that cherry that duplicates you to show up in Super Mario 3D World.
Sean, do
I
you have any
think the sports
predictions?
thing could work because you could use that to introduce Wario and Waluigi. They have the
Yeah.
other team.
All right.
I mean, it'd be a
And it
smaller
was just on
space
my
movie,
mind
but
because it's baseball started and I was playing Mario Baseball today and I was like, yeah, I'd watch a Mario Baseball
It
movie.
would be it
I
would
mean,
be
even if
cool
they
if they
mashed everything together, all the sports games,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah,
would
have a
actually
turn like
work.
Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics games are like that. Like you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
have them all, you know?
yeah,
But that's
it
how you
would be
introduce Wario and Waluigi
it would
as
be cool to
the
see like
guys on who
Waluigi
run the
show
other
up
team.
for tennis.
Yeah.
Like have that reference like, oh yeah, like of course I'm the tennis guy, right?
And it
Yeah.
would make sense because that's what he was introduced in was a sports game.
right.
But I mean, if they're going to do a traditional, it'll be something around Daisy. I
Yeah.
don't know
My
specifically what, but
my actual prediction though is I definitely think Wario is involved in the next movie somehow because it's one of the only like key Mario things we haven't put in there yet. So we're gonna go Wario. We know Daisy because she was in the Stinger thing. So
And
yeah.
Charlie Day is very close with what is it?
oh yeah, I saw.
The
So
other guy.
everyone would like Danny
Danny
DeVito
DeVito,
to be
sorry.
Wario.
Yeah.
Charlie Day, I think, like I mentioned on here, I mentioned to you guys that I've become a big Jack Black fan, but like Charlie Day was just fantastic in this movie. Um,
For
I
sure.
really think so. In this movie, how many times did you guys actually not like a exhale, but like how many guys times did you guys actually laugh out loud in this movie?
I don't know. I definitely did several times, but I didn't have like a counter or anything.
For me, it was
I'll
once.
make it easy for you. Yeah, it was once, and it wasn't even the movie. It was the Illumination logo when the Minions did the Donkey Kong hammer.
That was so cool. I didn't write that down. That was so cool. Because that was right in the beginning. I
But after
forgot.
that, yeah, after that, I probably smiled, but I didn't actually laugh at anything in the
I
movie.
definitely laughed when they went back to rob the robot,
That
and Mario was there.
I laughed the first time. I thought that was hilarious the first time, and the second time I was
No,
like,
I was the opposite.
okay.
The first time I was like, okay, I get it. And then it's like that Family Guy thing where they just keep doing it. Like when they went back to it, I was like, oh, I didn't expect them to I
Yeah,
thought that was over and now
yeah.
it's back. Haha. So um so that was definitely a laugh for me. Was there any I think I laughed during some of the Yoshi montage stuff, but I can't remember at what specifically. I think just the concept of him having stickers all over him, I think I might have laughed at. Uh, but like it wasn't like a specific joke, you know.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, I'd say I probably laughed out loud 3 times. We'll say.
Don't need a counter. It's
Two
not.
more than
And it's not like any of us were at the movie, like taking notes, like getting ready for this podcast. Um,
Yeah.
so no, it just like again, it was like it was an enjoyable time out. I guess I hadn't been out to the movies in a little while either, so there was that part. Sean, when you go to the movies and you get snacks,
yeah.
what percentage of snacks are you eating before the movie begins?
So they had Rainbow Galaxy popcorn, so I grabbed that and couldn't get through all of it because it was coated in so much stuff, but it was pretty good. But typically, if I get popcorn, it's probably half gone before the movie even starts.
Kevin, same question.
I stick to the classic popcorn and soda. I would say I try to avoid eating the popcorn before it starts, but I usually start when the trailers start rolling in, and I got a decent amount left because it's, you know, they make those. I usually get whatever the popcorn thing is too, so you get a lot like the tin. Like I got the Yoshi.
Yeah.
I posted about it on our social.
Oh yeah, they didn't have any Yoshis left when I went.
I was surprised they did for me because it was a Sunday and I saw so many people on like Thursday and Friday night were like scalping them and like posting pictures of like a whole like truck full of them. But no, that I don't know if they were doing one per customer because I only asked for one, but yeah, they had them for me.
Did you have plushies?
Although I was surprised they still had the popcorn when I went too. So
Mm.
We had plushies where I was, but like the tickets were already $3, and the plushies were like $5, and I'm like, no way. Like I can't like justify spending like the amount I spent on 2 tickets, even though it was like a very like cheap evening out. And the store next to the cinema where I was selling Sonic merchandise, like a little kiosk. I was gonna take a picture and send it to you guys. I was gonna like pick one up and like, hey, like, um,
they
but
did sneak the Sonic 4 teaser at the beginning when I went. So
Hmm. And you know
right,
what else? While we're speaking about the theater going experience in general, there were a lot of kids in my theater because I went Sunday morning, and they for the I don't know why I didn't mind it. Like they were definitely digging the movie and like talking loudly like kids do, and but I was like, oh, it's cool to see that these kids are into this. Whereas when I see a Spider-Man movie, that just upsets me to no end for some reason. But for some reason during this Mario movie, I was happy to see that they were enjoying it.
yeah. There was 6 other people when I went, and it
One
was
one kid was like desperate to let his mom know that he got every reference. He was telling his mom what every reference was.
Yeah, it's low season here. It was Wednesday at 5 p.m. It was like the perfect time to go. It was just very, very nice. And it's nice to know that I still enjoy. I think it's the sound dampening. I realize that like every time I walk into a theater, I'm sure you're the same way. It's like it's that nostalgic vibe almost.
Hmm.
And I think that's like the first thing that catches me is like when you walk for us it's when you walk upstairs and when you're walking into like the hallway. um yeah,
mm.
it's still like an enjoyable time. I guess if you're not having to just spend too much, I guess. And hey, same thing with the last movie, so I'll keep it brief. Brian Tyler is just absolutely fantastic. To me, he is modern day John Williams. His name should be right next to Hans Zimmer and John Williams. I can't believe how many movies he actually does, but I guess
Oh
that's
yeah,
what you do when like you're getting all this money and all these expectations to do all these big movies. But man, like
if you like Kim Harrison, uh One of the first things he scored by himself is a movie called Bubba Hotep.
I
That's
saw,
my
saw
favorite
that.
film score.
I saw that Bruce
Okay.
Campbell.
Yeah, Brian, that was one of the first movies he scored. He did that all by himself. I felt like he was a little lost in this movie, is like he blended in the background too much, so it didn't stick out to me as much this time. I don't know if Nintendo like was a little more like stringent on how he could write, but at the same time, I know he wrote this score while he was in the hospital, so I mean, kudos to him
Yeah.
because you have a giant movie you have to do a score for. But yeah, he does everything now. Marvel movies, uh, I want to say almost all the Fast and Furious. Like he's got a pretty big catalog of stuff, but I highly recommend Bubba Hotep's score.
Yep, yeah. Bubba Hotep is like to me. I always thought it's like a brilliant score, but kind of a tough movie to get through. But maybe you feel differently.
Oh no,
Uh,
I feel absolutely differently. Was it weird there was no Bowser song in this? I felt like when he was in the B part, he was getting ready, and then he got rescued, and then it
Yeah.
never
I
came
think they
up
were
again.
intentionally faking you out there for sure. Yeah.
Okay, because
yeah,
supposedly he wrote a song for it, and it just never got in. I don't know what it would have
Maybe
been.
it felt too much like retreading uh the same thing from the last movie, even though a lot of this is the same thing from the
Well,
last movie. So
I kind of expected him and Bowser Jr. to do a duet at some point, and it didn't
yeah,
yeah,
happen.
yeah. And
So,
and I
cut
will
for
say,
time, possibly.
like it wasn't like ha ha funny to me, but I am impressed to like see to like hear Jack Black's voice acting when he's the tiny Bowser. Because I
oh yeah,
imagine he's changing a little bit internally for that, even though they are like pitching up his voice and making him sound different. Uh, that part was also
Oh,
enjoyable to me too. So yeah.
I thought of another moment I laughed out loud for is when they got back at the end and the castle was gone. I totally expected that they were gonna fix that with like Rosalina Peach magic, and I did not expect the direct cut to the hole in the ground. So that made me laugh.
Thank you for saying that, but that's another
I
point I
think
wanted to
that
bring up. Yeah.
the
Okay.
part I got close on was the final battle when they got all the power ups, and Luigi went, "Well, that's weird," because he get the cloud thing,
So
Oh yeah.
but nothing audibly came out of my mouth. But
Oh, we're old and curmudgeon now.
I know it's
it
like I
was
said. I
fun. It
honestly
was a
think it
fun
was the
movie.
trailers. I
Yeah.
Like
think the next movie I need to just not watch any trailers
yeah.
and go in like blind, basically.
Yeah,
Yep.
you
Well,
mentioned
what did the castle hole remind you
the
of? The
castle
hole in the
part.
ground?
So I want to circle back and say, like Star Fox, I really enjoyed the anime style
Oh
like
yeah, that was
introduction they
cool.
Yeah.
did for that. So actually, the art
If he gets a
direction,
movie, it needs to be in that style
yeah,
because they've already established that his universe looks like that. So
right. So like the Illumination art style direction doesn't bother me maybe as much as some people, or like if people are just tired of it, but I really enjoyed that. All of the platforming they include in this movie is awesome.
Hmm.
And then the pixel art is cool, but then when they got to the end and they cut to
And
like
they, yeah,
the
the
NES Super
screen.
Mario Brothers, and they're like
Yeah.
rebuilding the castle. To me, I'm like,
oh yeah.
oh, to me, I'm like, they're phoning it in. Like they don't want to do a whole
No, you know what that
big.
reminded me of is it's exactly like the credit sequence, the end credits in Wall-E, where they did like simple drawings to show them like rebuilding
Oh yeah.
Earth to be like habitable
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
It really reminded me of that, except this was in the actual movie and not didn't have credits over it.
I really enjoyed it, but to me, I was like, oh, they just didn't want to do this final scene. Like, let's just make an NES Mario scene. It's fine. Like, here's some blocks of people putting the castle together. Oh, now the castle's back. Look at that. But overall, I actually did really enjoy when they would do all those parts because it stood out to me. And yeah, I guess I think some people might be more bothered by this style. And of course, you've either put in the notes or mentioned, Kevin, that you would prefer Zelda to be this way. I think we all feel that way.
Not
Um,
exactly like
But
this. Like, I
animated.
don't think Zelda should have this many Nintendo references and be like wall to wall joke fest the way this movie is. I do think you need to be a little bit more serious and sparing with a Zelda story. I just think a Zelda movie should be animated like this. I think there's so much more potential for like making magic spells look cool and just like cool overall character design and things like that. So that's all I meant by that. I don't think Zelda should have this much humor. I think that's the best way to explain it.
so
Not that
every
it needs to be dead serious, like R-rated Zelda movie, just like, I don't know, a little more like a Pixar movie. Like the jokes are a little more focused and not so much just jangling the keys that people want to say. Like I think that works for Mario. I don't think it works for Zelda.
every big franchise, in my opinion, because I know there's no plans for Smash, but I think it'll happen at some point. With the way Nintendo is moving with their media, I think
Mhm.
anyone's favorite franchise at some point is either going to get a movie, series, anime, short film, short series, something like that. So that's what I
The
think.
rumors are Donkey Kong's already in the works, so we'll
I'd be
see.
surprised if it wasn't, but I said that on the last movie. I didn't really like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, so that's gonna be tough for me to sit through.
That's me a little bit interesting. I wonder who's going to be. Well, anyways, how about the one I
Yeah,
wanted to go ahead.
Nintendo keep giving these interviews where they act like they're not even going to make video games anymore. Like I've seen a few where they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you reach so many more people with a movie," and they're like, "Oh, there's only so many people you can reach on consoles," and they keep saying things like this, and it's like,
Yeah,
"We get it. You're making more movies. We get it."
but then you make a Mario movie that has like all of this platforming in it and all these like
Yeah.
it's like pretty clear it's like in their DNA. But one I want to ask you guys is how about Metroid? Metroid, do you see movie, series, anime series, but I think Metroid could be like a really cool something. Um
See, that's one I think suits itself to live action more than Zelda does. Because I feel like the plot can be like very simple sci-fi. The plot of basically the first or Super Metroid would work. And uh you would need more characters in there, so you would kind of have to have the Metroid Prime 4 thing of like other soldiers that she talks to or something. But for the yeah, I could see I would if I were in charge and I had to pick and you're like you have to make one of these animated and one of these live action, I would have picked Metroid for live action, not Zelda.
Sean, what do you
I
think?
could see animated series like in the vein of the Castlevania series Netflix did.
I think it would
Like,
all
just
work, to be honest.
yeah, I think it translates to both, but I think that makes the most sense for Metroid, like an anime type
Hmm.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
And again, you could literally adapt any of the games at that point. Just pick one.
I, I
Yeah.
You
I
have
I
a
really
whole
think that's
series
where
right
we're
there of eight
going.
episodes.
Like
So
and a lot of them have already been there. Animal Crossing had a short film in Japan,
Hmm.
which is kind of strange given all the lore of that franchise. But yeah, I think choose your favorite franchise. They're gonna get something eventually.
F-Zero had a show, I think, as well. They had an anime.
yeah, yeah. So doing that again would make sense. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'd like a Punch Out show. I think animated works best
Yeah.
because of the type of characters there. But
And just parody Rocky as much as possible. Like
right,
parody the fact that they have those Balboa, what's the new one called? Not Balboa.
Creed.
The
Creed movies.
Creed, yeah, the Creed movies. Like throw that in there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which are they on Creed 4 now? I haven't seen the last two. I've only seen the
Quest
first
for
one.
Peace.
The,
It's a
the,
boxing movie and the subtitle is Quest for Peace.
That works. I like that.
I I have said everything I want to say on the movie. Did you guys see any good trailers? Um,
I
so
actually was really, I don't remember the name of it, and I'm not going to watch it in theaters. I'll watch it on streaming. But I was mildly interested in that one about the two friends that go into that. It's another Illumination movie, I think, and they end up in
Oh,
some
I
alternate universe where it's like erasing their memories. I was like, oh, this is, I like that it's not based on a comic book or a video game or anything. It's an original concept. And anytime they do something like that, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'll check that out.
yeah, I can't remember the name of that. That looked interesting. I didn't see the last Minions movie, but this one's about them summoning Cthulhu. So I
Baby
probably
Cthulhu,
would
yeah.
watch that streaming. Uh, Spider-Man doesn't look any better on a big screen. Uh,
yeah.
and I
So,
guess Supergirl's gonna be
I don't think I
about.
got the Spider-Man trailer. That's interesting.
No, I get that and Supergirl, and I guess Supergirl's just gonna be about her saving Crypto from being poisoned, which is
Yeah,
fine.
that's what the comic it was based on
Okay.
was about. It's
I didn't
based
know if it
on
was based on that,
because
but
it was originally called Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and it's based on a comic book called Superman Woman of Super. The thing I
okay.
just said.
it was way before crypto,
And,
also. Wait.
yeah.
Forgotten
Um,
Island is what you want to see.
what's forgotten? Oh, that's the name of it. Okay,
That's the
I
name
already
of that
forgot.
movie because I looked it up. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd watch the Minions thing streaming because it's got monsters in it. But I mean, realistically, there wasn't anything where I went, "Oh my god, I didn't know that's a thing. I got to go see that." So
Right.
I still haven't
Well,
seen
that's harder
Sonic.
and harder these days with information coming at you every two
Well, yeah,
seconds.
I still haven't seen Sonic 3. So the teaser for Sonic 4, I was like, yeah, I got to get around to that at some
I still
point.
haven't seen Sonic 2,
Well,
and I want to.
there you go. So by the time any of this stuff comes out, I'll have either forgotten about it or you know watched it somewhere, not the theater. But like I said, I've learned my lesson from Mario animated movies. Don't watch trailers. So
Or maybe just illumination in
Or
general.
watch the trailers and understand you're not going to get anything else other than what's in the trailer. Maybe you just need the expectation set.
Yeah. Yeah.
no, I think it was just don't watch trailers because a lot of that stuff
Okay.
would have been surprising to me instead of just oh yeah.
I
In the,
had thoughts on the Star Fox thing that you mentioned where you're like, I wish they kept it as a surprise. I think they wanted it to be, but I saw something online that said Nintendo was upset. I guess fans had figured it out because there's like a moment you can see like his arm
oh,
in one of the
the other
trailers
thing.
and
Yeah.
people had figured it out. I don't know if that's completely why they decided to reveal it, but I also feel like Nintendo likes to control their information more than anyone else, so they might have thought like let's put this out before everyone spoils it.
It
Yeah,
was
that sounds them.
it was a decent surprise. We'll never know. We'll never know the answer to that, but I'm gonna go more on the side of it was intentional because he actually did play a pretty major role,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it created the
he had a role.
speculation of because I saw at least multiple videos of people saying, "Oh well, he's not gonna be that big in the movie. Like maybe he'll be there for like one
Yeah.
scene and then he'll be gone."
I thought the
He
same
was
thing. I said it on that episode we did.
yeah
I said he's probably going to have like a quick cameo where he says like you're going that way, guys.
yeah. And like, I mean, that part was awesome. I mean, I think we're all in agreement of that part where the inclusion of
To,
Fox McCloud
to be
was,
fair though, the reason most of us thought that is like look at how they use all the other characters. Like Rob's in there for 2 seconds, Game and Watch is in there for
well,
2 seconds. You didn't
that's
even
half
notice
of
the Punch Out
yeah.
guys like that's how they do it. So,
Well, that's half of
Yeah,
it. To me, that's half of it. But
yeah.
the other half to me is that I'm just a really simple guy, and you put all of like the flying on the screen, and I'm like, whoa, like that, like that's it's the Star Wars thing, you know? Like sometimes I'm not following the story, but I'm like, hey, like I'm just like looking around, you know? So
right.
yeah. I mean, the references are great, and yeah, it was. I mean, that part was enjoyable. But we're in agreement, right? Like the first one was better. First one was better, right?
I thought the
Yeah,
first movie was
I'd agree.
better, and it's oddly for the thing that at the time I wasn't crazy about was the real world stuff. But now I'm like, oh, it kind of needed that to transition or whatever. Because that's the
I think the
one.
first one had more heart because, like, it was about
Yeah.
Mario, wanting to get to his brother, and, we didn't really have that element here because they didn't know Rosalina. They just knew they knew it was a princess in trouble.
which
So that
is
Right.
was
which
kinda
is going
lacking.
back to the main issue I had with this movie, and this movie felt
Yeah.
like a sequel. Like, hey, we're here. Like, you know us.
Yep.
Like we're driving in
Yeah.
on the motorcycles. You already know Mario and Luigi. We're just doing the
Because the
side
the
quest.
funniest criticism I've seen people that I at least could, give a little air to. It's like, so they just abandoned everybody in Brooklyn? Like they don't ever go back there and check in and stuff? I went, okay, I'll give you that. I'm not going to give you the lore has been ruined forever because they're sisters now and all this other stuff. But I'm like, all right, that's a valid point you can make.
Don't
Is
they
do
have
they
like?
ever go back to Brooklyn?
Isn't there another protagonist that can take care of Brooklyn? Come on, come on. I mean, it's not Gotham City, but like, isn't there like somebody else that can protect Brooklyn while Mario and Luigi are busy in the Mushroom Kingdom? They can't be two places at once. That's hilarious.
True,
Yeah,
true.
that's a very I haven't seen anything like that. That's very funny. Cool guys. So, um, can we talk a couple minutes about Pokemon Champions? The other part that I'll just tap on for here is that by the time we record next time, Tamagotchi Life will be out. But I think no one. I think after Pocopia, everyone's like, I don't know, bro. Like I haven't really seen a whole lot of people talking about that. About that, and there's also a demo out right now on both Switch and Switch 2. So
Oh yeah, I did see
uh,
that today. This is a
I
demo.
just don't.
Yeah, I mean, so Pokemon, I was off
Champions.
this week, so I tried it. I played it for like a couple hours, a couple days. I mean, I it was perfectly fine what I played. I mean, I literally picked my Pokemon based on looks because I don't know a damn thing about Pokemon. Hence why I was getting
I think most
schooled.
people do. I think
Because
most people do.
well, I had like a Yeti one I really liked. It seemed powerful until I fought somebody and they like one shotted it, and I went, all right, I don't know what I'm doing. But as far as Harrison, you can speak to this better than me. I didn't really run into any bugs. I don't know what issues as far as the launch and all that stuff. The extent of anything weird to me was a little bit of loading when somebody was picking what they wanted to do. But I had fun with it, but it's another thing that I don't have time to get good at, so I'll probably never play it again. But it was nice to at least give it a shot. But you're the Pokemon guy, so what's the real
Cool.
story on it?
Cool. You tried it out. Yeah, yeah, it's cool. No, I didn't play it day one, and I didn't have any issues with performance beyond the fact that it performs like a Pokemon game, which is just not so good. It's not good to look at. But no, I didn't have any problems with like matchmaking or the limited time that I had actually played. A feedback that I heard from some people is this makes me want to play a mainline Pokemon game. And for me, I was like, man, I could not feel more the opposite. I mean, it's great that everyone has like their own preferences and opinions, but like to me, like this just reminds me like how bad and like how lifeless some of this actually is. But it's not the point.
Maybe that
It's gonna be a
maybe
mobile
that's
game.
why they wanted to play the main line. Maybe they saw that this
Oh
was
no.
lifeless and they were like, "You know what? I wanna play a good one."
Want to play one that's slightly better. Um,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Kind of. I'm kind of. Um, But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be. I get it's not the point. It's gonna be a mobile game. I think the balance is way off right now, which is expected. It was kind of the same at the launch of the trading card mobile game, and it's probably the same with any kind of gotcha style game. Seems like the
Mhm.
free to play experience is actually there, but I think they're kind of stuck right now because this is meant for it's clearly meant for more casual players. Like They'll
Yeah.
tell you if a move is effective or super or extremely effective. But there's no offline single player experience right now, which kind of seems like it would be more for the competitive Pokemon people. So that's the part that's confusing to me, and that's kind of the part that I'll leave off on since I've only played it for a couple of hours. There's some criticisms that I can't relate to as a more casual Pokemon fan, like held items and just like number of items available right now. Uh, but yeah, I don't plan on keeping up with it because there's no offline experience, and I it would require me to like upload everything into Pokemon Home and to build up there because it seems like right now it's more for if you want to be in the ranked and you want to compete. Um,
Yeah.
that's it. It's it. Monetization is there. Um, I'm gonna say it's not that bad. I'll try to be nuanced. Like it's clearly predatory. There's like way too many things you can spend virtual currency on, but I will say that $50 a year for a membership, if you want to do it, whatever, it's not that bad, I guess. So that's it. That's it. And Kevin, you didn't play it. Is that right?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. All right. Uh, so, Sean, you're not returning to it. Not planning on it.
Probably not, but like I said, it was nice to experience it at least. But
Okay, so another news item that I saw this week outside of the Hollywood movies and the online multiplayer stuff we're all talking about, um, I just thought this was really funny how like middle school some of this seems. So Nintendo Prime says Nintendo is now spreading fake information internally to patch some of the leaks that have been happening. Like they were apparently very unhappy with the Star Fox and the Ocarina of Time remake information getting out there. And it's like just so middle school about like, trying to stop rumors. But it said they've done this in the past. It has been reported that they also deployed this method some years back. However, Nintendo Prime says he's not worried about Nate the Hate's recent information, meaning that he believes those rumors are legitimate. His quote is, "I've now heard from 7 different people that Nintendo has officially employed the spread fake info internally strategy to try to discover who's leaking information." And then it goes on to say this isn't the first time they've done this. It failed to catch Nate the Hate source last time. So Nate the Hate source still at large. Will he be fed some wrong information again? We'll have to, or for the first time, we'll have to wait and see.
we
Um,
caught you red-handed, Ted. The princess is in another castle. You're fired.
So
I
is
remember, I
go ahead.
remember one time that the last time they investigated leaks, reading the story that they discovered that most of the leaks were coming from people managing their YouTube accounts because they could see the videos when they were scheduled and not when they were,
Oh, when
up.
it was going up.
Exactly anything that was scheduled to go up, they could watch. So that's where they caught that before. But spreading misinformation to see what gets back to you is a good strategy, I guess.
Is this a rumor about a rumor? I'm so lost.
Ex- that's what I meant by how like middle school this is. Like it's just it's so cute.
It it
I heard they're
it sounds like none of
releasing a
it sounds like
gaming
none of this is
console.
real. It sounds like none of it is real. Like if
Nothing,
I
you're
had
not
to,
real.
I don't know anything. Like I don't know anything at all. I'm just a Nintendo
You
fan,
don't know nothing.
but if I
I
had to
believe the
like
Star Fox rumor.
if I had to guess, I'm like none of this is real, and like there's no Zelda remake, even though there probably is. Uh, yeah,
I believe them both.
I I don't know. Like it just makes I like to think that Nintendo is more just the I don't know, sue the guys. I don't know, just be litigious.
Yeah.
Just send the ninjas
I don't
after
know.
them. Like
I
they
mean,
have
Nate the
so
Hate's been talking about this Ocarina of Time remake for like 5 years now. So for him to finally put a release window to it. That's like the first time he's done that. And I don't know, we could talk forever about why we do or don't believe certain things, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what rumors start spreading in the next few weeks because of this, because now it's time to not believe rumors, kids, whereas before you should believe every rumor you hear.
And
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy movie lost a lot of money for the company. Really?
They actually I almost talked about that this week. It's already made 500 million, but
Yeah,
never
it's
mind.
printing money. That's what was gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
So, what's not printing money are our spotlights. Or are they? I don't know. Are these rare? I have no idea.
I mean, they're
I
not
mean,
printing
if
money
you're
right
selling them on
now.
eBay, they're printing money, yeah.
They're not printing money now, but sure.
They're
I
printing
didn't
money
know if
for
these
scalpers or for secondhand market owners, you would
I didn't
call
know
them.
if these were some of those games that lost a little of that market value once they get up on the service.
No, not to my knowledge. Anyway, we're talking about Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones first. This game released in 2004 for the advanced Game Boy. Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones builds on the foundation of its predecessors, which we did not get here in North America, while introducing more open ended structure. Set in the war torn land of Magvel, the story follows royal siblings uh, Erica and I have no idea how to say the other name, Ephraim, as they struggle to restore their kingdom. Gameplay retains the series' structural tactical combat while adding new features inspired by earlier Japanese only titles, such as World Map, that allows for optional battles and grinding. Um, this game, I will say, I really didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I thought, because Final Fantasy Tactics was, I think, at least for me, a bad introductory point to tactics-based games. Um,
Okay.
it's not a bad game. It just is not where you should start. And and what this really reminded me of is the Advance Wars series,
Mhm.
which I looked into it and I was like, gee, I wonder if the success of Advance Wars in North America was why they decided that we're finally ready for this and release this. And it was. It
Oh,
totally they decided to release this Fire Emblem in North America for the first North American Fire Emblem because Advance Wars did well. So they were like, okay, people are ready for this now.
alright. Very cool.
What did you guys
Oh,
think of the game?
wait. The other game we did is Blazing Blade, right? Isn't that?
Yes. Oh, I'm seeing it's not in the notes. You're right. It must have gotten deleted. But yeah, we did do Blazing Blade.
But isn't Blazing Blade first?
Is it?
Is it first?
No, you're right. It's I read it in the wrong order.
But we
Blazing
but
Blade
we
is
can we can do
first.
we can go out of order. But just for context, that's
Everything I just said, no, everything I just said is about I put
Blazing
them in
Blade.
I put
Blazing.
Blazing Blade in twice is what I did.
Uh,
So yeah, I meant it about Blazing Blade, even though I said the wrong thing. But yeah,
I'll just overdub it in post. Blazing
the
Blade. There we go.
2003 Game Boy, the first North American Game Boy Advance release game, is what I was talking about.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm ready because I was like, I don't know what game we're talking about right now.
I talked about the wrong story. I mixed them up. The story was wrong, but the gameplay stuff was right.
We
there you go.
it's just a title. We're talking about Blazing Blade right
Yeah,
now. Got it. 2003. Um, I think a great jumping off point for Fire Emblem. I don't know the
hmm
series enough to know like what's like the best Fire Emblem game, but it seems like if you wanted to get into the series, this is like a great way to uh, get into this series. Beyond that, I felt a little out of place because I don't play tactical games that much. I played like Mario Rabbids, and I don't play JRPGs that much, but I enjoyed the grid movement, which reminded me of chess. The weapon triangle is very easy to understand. Like if you understand rock paper scissors, it's the same thing as that. So, and how about that weapon durability? Now you can go to like a smithing shop or something and repair it, but it does have weapon durability. How do we feel about that? Huh?
I
Huh?
feel like Breath of the Wild needed a smithing shop to
Oh yeah.
repair uh things because money becomes so useless after you've gotten all the fairies woken up.
Oh yeah.
I think in a
But
game
yeah,
like this, that mechanic works very well. You know, it makes sense. It's a
yeah.
tactical game. It's not an open world where you're fighting everything and then it decides it wants to break at the most inopportune time. I enjoyed both of them. I mean, we can talk about the other one too, but this was a genre that I was into at the time. But Fire Emblem, I don't know if this was the same for you guys, but I thought they were just Smash characters. I didn't
No.
really realize at the time that it was a series. So I thought they were just people that were in Smash, but no, I know I've played at least one of the 3DS ones or 2DS, one of them, but I really like them. I think they have solid mechanics and they build on that as the games go, and it all works really well. I think in terms of amount of content, these games are always really great for that. So if you want something that's going to be kind of lengthy, highly recommend a Fire Emblem game. But I enjoyed my time with both of them. The first one I played more than the second one, but no, I mean, again, it Advanced Wars was something I did play when it came out. So it's weird to me that I jumped on that but didn't jump on this. But with time, I've
Well,
kind
for
of
me, the reason I didn't jump into this, and I know you don't have this mental block, but I tend to avoid a series if I can't play it in its entirety.
oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember knowing that there were previous games, and I was just like, I don't want to play this one if it's not the first one. Like, and I still get that way to this day, is I like to play series from the beginning. I know you don't have to. I just it's something in me wants to.
Um, I enjoyed the first one slightly more, and this is very much a first impressions thing to me.
Yeah.
Because these are very, I mean, there's a tons of content, and I don't feel the connection that I think I should be feeling, especially with the story, to give this like a true like we're not giving it out of 10. We're not giving it like a true like rating, but I would say like my ranking for Blazing Blade came in at 63, and that is in anticipation that I would play this game more and start to have more connections with it. But going through a lot of the reviews that I had seen of this, a lot of people say that this is the best or one of the best Fire Emblem games. And a lot of people, I mean, this is rated very, very highly of people who did review this game.
Yeah, so ranking wise, they 50 and 51. This is stuff I'll go back to, and I'm looking forward to the GameCube one popping up. So yeah, good, really good series.
Yeah, like I said, it's I didn't expect to get as into it as I did, and I think I have a new series that I want to play as many games as I can get access to now. So they're all piling up, but I don't know. I've also talked about maybe limiting myself and being like, okay, I got these 20 video game series, and that's enough. I'll just follow them. But
Funny,
yeah. Anyway,
21, 21 game.
I ranked it at number 31 and 30. Well, I'll save the other one for later. But this one came in at 31, right below win back covert operations.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Right. I mean, for the second one, I just ranked it one. I did rank it one lower at 64. Got about
Same.
the same distance. Felt indifferent about the amount of dialogue. That was something that I had seen people write about, is that there's too much dialogue. But perhaps anytime a JRPG or something gets reviewed, perhaps that's always at least one person saying that. Um, and I imagine none of us got far enough for this, but are there any thoughts about having a level cap to games like this? I think it's 25, but I didn't write it down. But I just remember the level cap is
Level
pretty
cap
low
should
for these
always be
games.
99.
It's pretty low for these games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah,
would
that's
say
lower than
99.
Mario RPG's level cap is considered low, and that's 30. So
Right.
25 is pretty low.
I think this is either 20 or 25. I didn't write it down, and I was saying, no, that's pretty low, and it's not an easy game either. Like dying is
Nope.
extremely consequential in these games, and it's like the old JRPGs. Like if you die, you go back to your last save. Um,
Yep.
so or last save point, I guess I'll say. So overall, I think I wish I could just review it more, like say more about it. But you know, spotlights are meant for first impressions sometimes, especially if we're going to review like these like really big
Something big, yeah.
games. And we always have the
Yeah,
liberty
I'm working
of
on I was gonna say I'm working on a different segment for the show that I won't have ready anytime soon. But listeners, I'm letting listeners know where I want to go more in depth into series, since I am someone who's obsessed with playing series in their entirety. So I had so much fun doing that for Metal Gear uh, earlier in the year when I was doing that. So I kind of I'm putting together something where every time I finish a game, I'm writing like a little thing about it so I can maybe do segments where I cover series in their entirety, and I'll talk more about this then.
cool. Yeah.
Nice.
So first impressions, we can always move these ratings up and down, and it also gives listeners a chance to tell us what they think or tell us, hey, you're dumb. You guys are dumb, right? Like you guys don't know what you're talking about. That helps engagement anyways. So um, there is all of that. Did you give Kevin? Did you give your rating for the second one?
32. They were ranked 31 and 32, right next to each other. I like the first game more, just like it seems to be unanimous here. But I also really like the second game. This awakened in me like a want to go back and play more tactical games. Like I think I'm gonna break out. I'm gonna finish playing this first off, and then the first one anyway. And then I might need a little break. But I also want to go back and play the Advance Wars games now because they're so similar. So, and who knows? They just did a remake of Tactics. Maybe I'll get back into Final Fantasy Tactics. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's definitely a genre I've been kind of I've been familiar with but kind of ignoring, and now I'm just like, oh, cool. I'm into this now. There's a Ninja Turtle one, got pretty
Yep.
Mhm.
mediocre reviews.
Right,
It was all right. Get it on
right,
sale.
right.
Yeah.
There's one that I can't think of it now.
The Mega
Anyways,
Man
and
Battle Network games are basically that, a little bit
Yep.
thrown in. It's a much smaller grid, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, what's the Nintendo Ubisoft relationship right now? I guess the last Rabbids came out quite a while ago, but there's so many breaks between series that I think they were received pretty well. I played the first one. Uh, I would play the
Yeah.
second one. I think it's more a matter of time because I enjoyed playing the first one. Um, definitely think that was a cool crossover. So,
All right, let's check out this old randomizer, find out what we're playing next time. All right, so next time we are playing Mac Rider for the NES. It is basically pole position on a motorcycle. If you're familiar with pole position, it is that kind of game. It's Warrior of the Lost World, the video game. So if you get that reference, write down below in the comments section that you love Mystery Science Theater. Um, yeah, we're as per usual, we are Nintendo fans, not Nintendo experts. If we got anything wrong, comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the Mario movie. Definitely let us know
Yeah.
what you thought of the Mario movie. because I love how I honestly think that's a good movie. It's not when everyone is either like, oh, I loved it or I hated it. It's when it's stuff like this where people seem to have 100 different opinions. Like, I liked it for this, I hated it for this and this and this. Like, they all have their own reason. So leave your reason below. Um, and join us next week for more Nintendo content. See you then.